Hello everyone, Sandrak here. So in this video, I'm gonna be ranting a little bit regarding the storyline for Inazuma. Now of course, don't get me wrong, I love the Inazuma patch so far. Everything is very nice. The scenery was perfectly done. The music was very nice in catching the mood, in the sense that, you know, when you go to the Rebellion base, you can hear more of the upbeating music. And also within the Inazuma city itself, you can a lot of time hear music that is somewhat unsettling, while in other places you can hear like really nice music of basically they're all variations of Ayaka's theme song. However, that theme is nice, so no complaints here. The only thing I want to talk about is a few questions or points I might have regarding how they structure the quest, the main quest line, of course, the Archon quest. And basically the fact I want to kind of rant about is the fact that the Raiden Shogun basically has no secret police inside Inazuma City, like, at all. Like, people can just do whatever they want, at least the ones that are shown. And the second part is the head that was in charge of the postal guard, basically one of the 3 commissions. The way he tried to make the traveler stay was kind of very obvious that he was trying to make the traveler just trap the traveler here, and it was kind of actually stupid. I'm going to use a little bit more extreme words here. And the last one is regarding how Bao was treating the situation with Toma. I believe that is not a move that, to me, an Archon would have done if, you know, she had given more than 3 seconds of thought. So again, this is the ranting video, so if you don't like rants, please click away. And also, I'll try to keep it as positive constructive criticism. However, these are the points I believe, at least right now, it seems very bizarre to me, and I hope they do give explanations for why these are happening later in the quest line, because we'll have to wait for the next patch for more main quest line to come. However, I do believe these are kind of very awkward situations. So first of all, the one I have problem with is how Beto just landed in Inazuma with Kazuha, did not get stopped by anyone, and also just left without getting stopped by anyone. Now of course, if a country is already closing down, and which is the case with Japan previously had a closing country policy. And of course, I'll be referencing China's closing country policy here because I'm more familiar with that, because I was born in China, and even though I'm Canadian now, but Chinese history I'm familiar with. So the policy, at least in China's case, was for quite a while. Basically, I think about 2 dynasties, they were both having the closed country policy until the Opium War happened and it was forced open. But even though at that point, whenever someone lands in the harbor, you don't just land in the harbor and leave. Like, the ship is, I'm sure Inazuma would have recognized that ship if they had anyone else other than Toma at the border there. And from a human resource point of view, it might make sense for, you know, them to not check the borders. People who come and leave can just leave right away as long as they don't enter your border and register officially. However, from a trade point stand of view, that leaves quite a few gaps for, you know, people who want to trade illegal items can just drop the item off here, and then the merchants can go pick them up later and stuff like that. So I just find it funny how they had no one at the postal guard checking as soon as a ship comes in, and as soon as a ship leaves, there is no one essentially checking. And I mean, in this case, you can argue that Toma probably got those people away because, you know, Ayaka wants to meet us, so Toma is there to make sure we do get a smooth landing. However, it feels a bit too smooth in my case. But that is going to be my least argument, so that one, I mean, I'll let it slide, but I think it's overall, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So the second one is also on that island. The second point I have is regarding the head of the commission that was in charge of tax and the postal guard there. So essentially, the problem I have with is the part where he asked us to pick 300 Qing things, and also to deliver, I think, 709 letters. Now, the funny fact is, I was actually talking with my friend earlier. The funny fact is, some of us actually just have 300 Qing things lying around in our inventory. For my case, I have around 60 because I'm slowly prepping for a shell rerun, so when I see them, I'll collect them. However, for some people that used to run like used to run a lot for Ganyu and Xiao, then some people might have up to 300 just lying around in the inventory, so it's kind of funny when that happens. And the other point is regarding the 709 letters. Now, of course, we heard from his daughter later that the point was to keep the traveler stationed on the island while the rest of Inazuma does not have to prep for the traveler incoming. However, the funny case here is that this is not the way you keep someone trapped on an island. Like, the traveler in our case, was very easy to tell that the plan was to keep us trapped on the island. And if I were to actually plan something like this to try to keep someone trapped in the island, the correct thing to do would be to treat them as a guest and then keep them entertained for like about a week or so, because as the guest, you're not supposed to, ask too much from the owner. Then in that case, as long as they're keeping you entertained, it's kind of hard for you to ask to leave. So in that case, that would achieve their purpose without it acting too weird. In this guy's case, he wants us to deliver 709 letters. I mean, if that is in a world quest perspective, then we're probably looking at 30 world quests at least. So that is the main problem I have with the second one. Like, as an old man, and also this person is also working as the head of one of the 3 commissions, he should at least have enough of a mindset to know that this is not the correct way to trap someone on an island, or trap someone in a confined space. The way to either do it was do it by force, like how they did to other people in Inazuma, or the other way to do it is to, treat them as the highest level guests, so that they are very rude if they ask to leave. In that case, then that is the other way I can think of to trap someone on confined space for an overly long period of time. The third problem I have is how Raiden Shogun treated Toma. Now, of course, I do have some minor problems with how Toma acted throughout the quest, because the entire quest feel very rushed in a sense. Like from after watching the trailer, what I was expecting was Ayaka to start out on the side of Bao, and eventually we actually turn her into the side of the rebellion. I was not expecting Ayaka to be already on the side of the rebellion, and she turned us into the side of the rebellion. Like, I was expecting the other way around, because after all, she is one of the 3 she is like the subhead of one of the 3 commissions, because Ayato is sick at the moment, so she is kind of taking over as one of the head of the 3 commissions, and it makes 0 sense for her to kind of think about that without, Bao really not noticing, which is the other problem I have with Bao. She is basically ignorant of everything that is going on in Inazuma, and all she does is put visions into the giant statue over there. And finally, I'll go back to the topic regarding the last one. The problem I have is regarding how they take Toma's vision. Now, of course, if Raiden has paid any attention, Raiden would be aware of the fact that Toma is working under Ayaka, either as a servant or as, in this case, he is part of the Kamisato household. And this is a rule for any dictator in general. If you want to be a dictator, you not only have to achieve balance between your forces, so you have to achieve balance between your minions, so that you can balance them around, in the sense that your minions are basically fighting over the same thing up to the point where they all have to listen to you in order to get part of the thing. And that is how you achieve balance. You're supposed to use them as chess pieces against themselves, against each other, in the sense that finally you'll be able to achieve balance. The first thing I see in Inazuma is that the balance is completely broken. The commission that is in charge of tax and coastal guard literally just does whatever they want, like on that island, of course, but they just pretty much do whatever they want. The Kujo commission was just doing all military stuff. Like, there is no way to put them on a threshold. There is no way to put them under control. If to say a revolution was started within the Kujo family against the Raiden, there is no other military force within the Inazuma to keep them under control. And the Kamisato household, the funniest thing was the Raiden had no idea that Ayaka is actually plotting against her. Not that she is actually plotting assassination or anything, but at least the Raiden seems to have no idea that the Ayaka is actually against her until the time she took Toma's vision, which kind of forced Ayaka and the Traveler to officially go against her. And the second point I have regarding what a dictator does is a dictator don't take what's precious from the people directly working under you. In this case, the 3 commissions work directly under Shogun, which means it makes no sense for Shogun to directly break the balance she has with the Kamisato household by immediately removing someone's vision from the Kamisato household. In this case, it is someone also very close to the Kamisato household head herself. It makes 0 sense to me, because in Raiden Shogun's case, this is effectively causing Ayaka to go against her either way. Now, of course, if the Raiden Shogun actually wanted to eliminate Ayaka's household by forcing her to go against her in this case, then that is a good strategy to use, but it doesn't seem to be what she is doing. What she is doing is just taking the vision and then putting it into the statue, and it makes no sense, because we know other people have visions, then why not take theirs? Instead, why would you have to take a vision from someone working directly 2 levels under you? I mean, it has been the case before that during achieving the balance, the dictator does want to pick away some of the what I say is some of the teeth and claws from each of these 3 commissions. However, it makes no sense to directly make enemies against the Kamisato household by directly doing that. Now, of course, Sarah is very loyal to Bao, but let's just say if Sarah is not very loyal to Bao, in that case, what would Sarah think? Because Sarah is someone around the same level as Toma, even though she is not a servant of the Kujo family. However, she is the adopted daughter, so in the sense that she is someone working very high up within the Kujo family, but directly under the Kujo family head. So in this case, it's 2 levels under Raiden Shogun. So if Raiden Shogun is able to just yank Toma's vision for no reason, then what would the other members of the top 3 commissions think when they are facing a similar situation? Then theoretically, what Bao can also do is she can just yank Sarah's vision without any sort of notice or anything. Then she can just tie her up and then put her there. Here is the 101 vision collection ceremony. Then that makes no sense here. Again, it's kind of hard for me to explain what I'm talking about exactly, but hopefully you get the point, which essentially this is causing fear and instability within the mind of the people working directly under Raiden Shogun, and there is no point to doing this. Now, of course, there is a saying in Chinese that you kill the chicken to, show the monkey that, if you do something wrong, I'll kill you as well. But, I mean, this does not really serve like that, because Toma did nothing wrong up to that point. Like, they didn't even know that Toma and Ayaka was plotting against them. They kind of just wanted to take Toma's vision for the sake of taking his vision. So in this case, it not only causes instability within everyone directly working under Shogun, and it also makes no sense from a political point of view. So these are the 3 main problems I have with what's going on with the questline regarding the Raiden Shogun. Now, of course, the other thing to look at is the questline seems overly rushed and overly simple within the questline, compared to previous questlines. Like, remember how long Zhongli's questline is? We had to do this and do that and do this and do that and do this and do that, and like 2 questlines later, we finally get to the rider parting. This one seems very rushed. However, I hope MiHoYo there is an explanation given on the second part that kind of brings this back. So that is all I have for you today. Thank you very much for watching, and have fun enjoying Inazuma.